Hey everyone, what is the crack? We are at Mount Panorama, the asshole that is Bathurst, in the F3s. It is an absolutely just killer track. So difficult but rewarding when you get it right. It's a bit messy to race here usually. There are going to be about 30 of us racing. Going to be a bit messy. I had a track guide prepared. I had the laps done. I was going to record it, check my timings against the other people. I was still a couple of seconds off, so I had to go back, do some more practice. And this is my quickest lap to date. It's a 1:53.8. The way these guides work, the first section I'm going to just go full speed lap, talk you through it as best I can. The second section, I'm going to break it down into smaller segments, really show you where to turn in, where to brake. You'll see my pedal inputs here on the left, my speeds, all that kind of stuff. And then the third section, I'm going to concentrate on racecraft a little bit. And the fourth section, I'm going to talk about setup. Now, before any of that, most important thing, if you can't be consistent here, you're not going to finish the race. You're not going to enjoy it. Don't worry about being fast. Be consistent. Try to be quick on the straights. Get those good exits. But in the windy section in the mountain, you don't actually have to be that quick. The only issue is cars here don't have brake lights. Actually, these do have brake lights. Very difficult to see the brake lights though, and someone might plow into the back of you. So it's worth being quick, but it's not the be all and end all. It's not going to win you the race. So without further ado, let's go into my flying lap. So as always, starts in the last corner, down to third gear, get a good run at the start finish straight. There are signs on the right. I use one of the flag poles. I'll show you exactly which one it is. Down to third gear, get a nice run out of there, carried lots and lots of speed. Absolutely flat to the mat. I shortened my top 3 gears a little bit, I think, just to try and get the most out of the engine. So that's kind of gained me a little bit of speed. There's a little road at the left. The end of that road is my braking point. Down 2 gears, flat out up here. Really tricky section here. Resist the temptation to go up into 5th, brake down into 3rd, get a nice clean run up the hill here. Try not to break traction. You'll see I was feathering the throttle a little bit there, and now you're pinned. You're absolutely flat. You need to get the line right here. If you can't do this flat, either your line is wrong or your setup is wrong. Try the setup that I have attached below. I switch down 2 gears here to 4th, take it nice and steady through here, down to 3rd, stay in tight to the right, down to 2nd, tight to the left, and accelerate hard, all the way up into 4th. And now brake early here, earlier than you want to. I messed that up a little bit, probably lost a little bit of time, got away with it. And absolutely pin it coming out of here. So this is a good, because it's a long straight, good opportunity to look at what my top speed is compared to your own if you're driving this car here. So there's some signs on the right. So take this sign just where the red wall starts, down to 3rd gear. Nice and disciplined through there. Again, signs on the right here. I brake after the sign, down to 3rd gear, and carry a bit of speed through there. So that was my quickest lap so far. Let's break that down into a little bit more detail. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pause to show you exactly where I'm braking, all that kind of stuff. So you can see there's a 200 marker on the right here. There's a 100 marker. See this thicker pole? That's actually my braking point. So see here, braking, you can see just the brake coming on. Brake hard, down to 3rd gear, and carry lots of speed through there. Very important with this car, don't floor it coming out of the corners. It doesn't have like a laggy turbo or anything, it just has a lot of speed, a lot of power. So be sure to apply it gradually, because once you break traction, you're going to lose lots and lots of time. So as I said, there's a runoff road on the left here. This one here. The end of that road is my braking point. So here, say I brake hard, down to 4th gear, try and catch that apex. I was probably a little bit wide there. Now resist the temptation. You can see my red line is absolutely roaring Resist the temptation to switch up into fifth. I'm sure it's quicker, but it's way more difficult to manage. So stay in fourth here if you're using my setup. Down to third, you want to go nice and wide. So you see the way coming off here, look at the throttle input and the brake input. I'm not braking too hard, I'm not accelerating too hard. So even going around this corner, a little bit of throttle, brake, and up the hill, gradually apply that throttle. You don't want to break traction there. You break traction there, you're going to spin, but you're definitely going to lose time. Stay absolutely pinned here. Concentrate on the line. Stay out wide to the left hand side. Cut in across. You always want to take that curb nice and close to this wall. You can stay on the middle of the track here over this blind corner. Then turn in, going up the hill. Use the tree. See the tree in the background? You kind of want to go towards that tree. Use that as your apex point. And similar here, you've got a red wall. As soon as you see that red wall, that's when you want to kind of start turning in. You want to be really smooth here. This is a difficult section of the track. I kind of aim for the curbs on the right. That's kind of where I start. Actually, it's probably closer. It's probably halfway between the curbs and the banner at the top. I let off, brake, so I don't brake super hard. Down 2 gears. Kind of coast through here a little bit. Brake again, down in third gear. Brake again, down in second gear, and then. So this is really a kind of a. The way I go through here is probably not the quickest. It is quick, but it's the way that allows me to be most consistent, especially when my tires start degrading. And with the aero setup that I have, it's relatively high. It gets me through there nice and safe and sound. So before this corner, actually when you see this sign on the right, this 100 sign, you want to start letting off and brake. This is a very windy little bumpy section, so applying full brakes, you're going to go straight into the falcon wall. So nice and slow gradual application of brakes. That was a bit of a drift going through that corner. Probably looks amazing from outside the car. And try and get out of this corner as quickly as possible. I'm sure I can do it quicker. I'm sure I can do that last corner, that hairpin, a lot quicker. Would have gave me more time. And I'm sure the people who are faster than me, I'm P5 at the moment. The next person is only a 10th quicker than I am. The next person is also, it's about a 10th quicker than I am. So it's getting tightly packed. So when you come up to this corner, keep an eye out for this red wall. That's kind of your braking point. It's where I brake. Down to third gear. You can take that corner in fourth, but you're not going to be able to carry the speed that you would have in that gear. So third gear, try to avoid that curve altogether if you can. It's very difficult to put a perfect lap together here. And then here, as I said earlier, you've got the 100 marker, but I go all the way up to this pole on the left. And third gear, I could probably do with an extra click of aero, but as my tires start degrading, so front aero, as my tires start degrading, I find that the car starts wobbling a bit more, so I've kept it at this aero. Other than that, let's go for the racecraft. As I said, exiting the corner is the most important thing. Don't worry too much about the top section of the track, the windy section. People won't try to pass you there. If they do, they're absolutely crazy. There's no racing with people like that, and I don't think we have them in the league that we're in anyway. But you need to be careful. Don't go slow there. I mean, people are going to expect you to be quick. But the difference, if you push an extra 50% there, you're going to get hundredths of a second or tenth of a second. And it's not going to give you as much benefit as potentially focusing on the corner exit at the hairpin where I had the big slide. Focus there and try and get out of there. If someone does pass you, you might be able to get their slipstream and get alongside them again. Try not to go too wide into some of the faster corners, because if you're battling, the person behind the two of you is just going to capitalize and overtake you because there are straights after it again. So just be careful with that. As for setup, I've softened the shit out of the whole car. I've raised it up, softened the rebound. I have lowered fuel. I'm still on medium tires, but it's a pretty bumpy track. So I softened the bump, but I still have a pretty high rebound so that I can try and put that power down. What else? Lowered the camber a little bit, so a little bit less negative camber, so raise the camber, I guess. And that's about it for the setup side of things. Hopefully this track guide will give you some bit of inspiration as to where the time is being lost. I reckon the race pace is going to be a good 3 or 4 seconds slower than this. Try and just complete the race, and don't worry too much about being the quickest unless you're doing quali. I don't do quali in my races, so I don't really worry too much about it. I know that if I had a hell for leather setup and got a lucky lap, I can definitely cut time off this. So hopefully this track guide helps you, and I will see you on Tuesday if you're racing, or otherwise feel free to give a comment if you got suggestions for improving. Give me a shout as well, and I will chat to you all later.